if they tell you to write, kom nou, sine of 4a in terms of sine a, then it means your answer is not allowed to have a cos anymore or a tan. It has to be in terms of only sine a. Okay, nou as ons gaan kyk na ons dubbelhoek uitbreidings, do you agree that we have one that says sine of 2 times an angle is equal to 2 sine of the angle cos of the angle? Nee, dis een van my dubbelhoek uitbreidings. Do you agree? Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way with that, but I can start by saying this one I can write as sine of 2 times 2a. Do you agree? Yes? So then I can expand that to sine 2a cos 2a. The 2 in front is part of the formula. Don't leave that one out. Ja? Okay, kom ek skryf gou vir julle julle dubbelhoek uitbreidings hier neer. So ons het sin 2x is gelyk aan 2 sin x cos x. Then you have cos of 2x has 3 different options. It's cos squared x minus sine squared x. And we also have 1 minus sine squared x. And we also have, no, I'm lying, there's a 2 there as well. There. And we also have 2 cos squared x minus 1. Okay. So we're looking at those when we're doing this. Okay, so sien julle ek het hierdie ene gebruik vir my eerste stap. But now I don't yet have them in terms of just sine A. I have a sine 2A there and I have a cos 2A, but I have to get to only sine A. Verstaan julle wat die vraag van julle vereis? Okay, so let's look at this part first. This part I can write like this. Lies. Stem julle saam, ek kan hom verder gaan uitbrei na dit toe. Do you guys see what I did? Hello? No, okay. Remember when you have sine of 2 times an angle, you use this one to say sine of 2 times an angle I can write as 2 sine A cos A. So sine 2A I wrote as 2 sine A cos A. Hierdie 2 is op sy eie. Ignore that. I'm just bringing it along. Okay. But now I'm still stuck to know with that part. Okay, now I have 3 different options to expand cos 2a. Do you see those 3 options? Which one would you choose? Remember, you need to get it in terms of sine of a. Not cos of a, just sine of a. So which one would you use? The first, the second, or the third one? Why the second one? You are correct. Why? Because that's the only one that is just in terms of sine. And you guys need to start identifying these. Want as ons kom by die oplos van vergelykings, dan wanneer jy 'n vergelyking soek in terme van sê nou maar net sin van 'n hoek, dan kan jy nommer 1 of nommer 3 gebruik nie, dan moet jy nommer 2 gebruik. Okay. So I'm going to expand that to 2 cos squared. Nou, ons het nou net gesê like that. Okay, kom ons vereenvoudig gou 'n bietjie. So met ander woorde, ons het hierso 4 sin A to nou. Die pen is nie lekker nie. Okay, en is daar iets wat ons nou verder kan doen? I need to get rid of that cos A. How can I get rid of cos A? Make it in terms of sin A. Ons moet 'n manier kry om net anders te gaan oorskryf. It's just going to give us the answer in the back of the book. I'm guessing. Optima 5, oefening 3. Oh, my hat. Okay. So all of this is fine, but this is still a problem. Okay, so how can I write cos in terms of sine? The one that they use is where they say do you agree with that identity? Cos kwadraat van 'n hoek is gelyk aan 1 min sin kwadraat van 'n hoek. So if I do this, then I can say that cos of A is equal to the square root of 1 minus sine squared of an angle. Okay, and that is what I'm going to substitute in there. En dan is die hele ding in terme van sin A. It's a long answer. You can always use this. But you don't see that one often. Maar wat belangrik is wat julle moet sien graad 12s is daar is so iets soos sin kwadraat A. You're allowed to write it in terms of sine squared A. Because it is still in terms of sine A then. But it's not allowed to be sine 2A. Okay, so sien julle my antwoord het 'n paar sin kwadrate daarin. That's fine. But it's not allowed to be sine 2A, but sine squared A is fine. Do you guys remember when we did those? Where you draw the triangle, and then you have k and 1 plus k squared, and you have to write it in terms of k? This is fine. K squared is fine. That's allowed to be there, but it's not allowed to be p or s or whatever. Okay. Goed, so daar mag 'n kwadraat daarso wees. Do you know? Die tegnologie wil net nie vandag saamwerk nie. Okay, then 2.2, they said write it down as 'n enkelhoek en bereken die waarde indien moontlik. So we've got cos squared 45 degrees minus sine squared 45 degrees. Jy kan net so los of jy kan daai 4 sin A sê net maar in die hakie gaan inmaal. Maar daai is ek happy mee. Alleen die enigste ding is. As dit nou is sê net maar aan die einde het jy sin A plus sin A. Skryf dit asseblief vir my as 2 sin A. Né? Nee? Maar solank als in terme van sin A is. Okay. This one, after a while, you should be able to identify it as that. Do you see? Cos kwadraat van 'n hoek minus sin kwadraat van daai selfe hoek. So this one I can write as cos of 90 degrees. Okay? Kyk mooi, julle moet nou mooi dink in terme van die getalle, né? As cos 2x gelyk is aan cos kwadraat x minus sin kwadraat x, then it means I can take this back there. And then I just times the numerical value by 2. Sien jy nou? Okay, en cos van 90 is wat? 0. Okay, on that note, I want to do another one here. What if I asked you for sine squared 45 degrees minus cos squared 45 degrees? What do now? You don't have an expansion that looks like that. Enige iemand 'n idee? Wat het julle geleer in wanneer was dit? Graad 10? Hoe kan jy 'n hakie omruil? How can you, if you have a bracket, but you want to switch the two terms in the bracket around, and there's a minus in the middle, what can you do? Yes, you can do this. Do you agree? I didn't divide by minus. I just factorized out -1. So I'm not changing the value of anything. Do you agree if I multiply this minus in, then this term is still negative and this term is still positive? Dit word net nou anders geskryf. Do you all agree with that? Okay. So in this case, it's actually not going to have an effect on my answer because -0 is still 0. But what if it was something that got to 1? Then your answer would have been -1 instead of 1. We're going to look at some more like this later on, where if I have, for instance, sine of 15, cos of 15. Do I have an expansion to simplify that? Just that? No. I need a 2 there in front. Do you agree? Okay, but I'm not allowed to just go and change the value. So I can say 1/2 times 2 sine 15 cos 15. You guys agree? I didn't change the value of the expression because 1/2 times 2 is still equal to 0. But I need that 2 there to be able to simplify that to 1/2 times sine 30. Which is, if I'm not mistaken, 1/2. So that'll be equal to 1/4. So as hy nie presies lyk soos een van jou uitbreidings nie, is daar maniere om hom te manipuleer. Google, are you okay with that? Must I go through it again? Yes, again. Okay. So let's say I asked you to give me a numerical value for that. One of my expansions looks almost the same, but it has a 2 in front. But I can't just go and multiply by 2 because it's an expression. It's not an equation. Nee? As die vergelyking was dit maklik. Jy maal net al twee kante met 2. Maar omdat dit 'n uitdrukking is, kan jy nie net gaan vermenigvuldig nie. So what I do is I sort of factorize out 1/2. Why? Because I'm not changing the value. It still remains this thing. It's just written slightly different. And why would I do that? Because this part in the brackets that I highlighted yellow, I can go and write a sine of 30. But now that 1/2, I need to carry that on to the next step. Sine of 30 is equal to 1/2, and 1/2, and 1/2 gives you 1/4. Juffrou, nie meer na 12 in die dag nie. Ons kan nie na 12 in die dag dink nie. You ask too much. Honger. You want an apple? Where did I what? Oh, where did I get the sine 30? Do you agree, Michelle? 2 sine x cos x is equal to sine 2x. So if it's 15 and 15 in the place of x, then it means on that side it's just going to be sine of 2 times 15, which is 30. Ja, ja? Okay. Julle dit raak regtig makliker hoe meer van hierdie mens doen.